Hey, ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Danmachi, and I gotta say, I'm so happy with where things are heading for the series, finally getting into the more serious stuff, especially in this episode after that last scene we had in previous episode, focused on Ryu and everything that's happening with her, around her, everybody just in complete panic, especially in the town. We even have Andromeda showing up, a lot of questions, and I also liked, finally they gave some attention to Cassandra in this episode. I'm starting to really like her a lot more. So far, from everything we have seen about her, she has just kind of been a side character, but in this episode she was kind of the focus of the episode, despite everybody going around struggling to find Ryu. Cassandra was the main focus. So we have quite a bit to talk about it, so let's get into it. Now, at the beginning, we see just this prophecy, dreams, everybody being wounded, dying, or very badly hurt, at least in the case of Belle. And we see that Ryu is involved at least, or maybe even responsible. I don't think she's gonna be responsible, but she's definitely in the middle of everything that's happening. But this is revealed to be a prophecy or a dream by Cassandra. I kind of really like the imagery they showed there right at the beginning, just straight into it. And also the camera angles again in this episode were quite interesting, especially when Cassandra woke up from that dream. They definitely went out of their way to show there's a lot more underneath this shy girl. But yeah, very curious about her prophecy. I hope they're gonna delve more into her talent, because it's even confirmed that it's actually real by Estia and Miaha in this episode, despite nobody really believing her, which kind of weighs on her quite heavily, especially a bit later on into the episode with Daphne, and probably has struggled quite a lot with her gift and nobody believing her. And this is why I'm really happy more characters are getting a bit more screen time than just the main characters we have been used to in previous seasons. Now, back in town, you see everybody being in uproar, thinking that Gelwind or Ryu killed this John dude. But things are not as simple as they seem, because also some fun moments thanks to Bars. He didn't want to go on the hunt, he was a bit scared of Ryu, but as soon as he heard the 80 million Valis bounty, I'm ready guys, let's go. Of course it's a cliche, but I still find things like this quite funny, and Bars, I'm starting to like you quite a bit. But the problem is this Turk guy. He keeps insisting and insisting way too much that he saw Gelwind, that Gelwind is responsible. But I'm not so sure, and they made some very good points a bit later on in the episode. Now, before we get to that, we had Belle trying to reason with them, calm them down, saying, hey, Gelwind might not be responsible with this. She even helped back during that big fight, but before he can get his words out, thankfully Aisha stops him, because that wouldn't really be a good idea. Kind of would have turned in the same situation that Belle dealt with the Xenos when everybody thought he was working against them, if he did the same thing here, going to defend Ryu. Despite him having a very good point, you can't really calm down people that are in a panic, when they're in a riot mob mentality. You're not gonna be able to talk them down, reason with them, and in this case it's basically the same thing, with everybody being worked up, thinking that Ryu is responsible. And yes, evidence point to Ryu, but there's a lot more to it happening. Now, thankfully Aisha stepped in. Now, they finally go aside, everybody meeting, trying to figure out what's happening, if Ryu actually did it, going through things slowly, trying to figure out everything. And thanks to Lily and Daphne actually investigating the body during the commotion, we see that Ryu definitely did interrogate that dude, which we pretty much at least knew that. It was very obvious. Even cut his limbs, not cut, section his limbs, so to say, tendons or something like that, for him to not be able to run away. But the wound, the fatal wound, was actually very different, stabbed multiple times, so somebody else might have done it. And they even point to Turk, which, like I said, was very insisting on Ryu being responsible. Could he be lying, maybe protecting somebody? Did he actually kill him and is trying to put the blame on somebody else? There's a lot of things happening. We have a murder mystery right now, Ryu's past, Bell finding another girl he wants to protect because saying he believes in Ryu and wants to save her. Each season Bell has a girl to save, and in this season he has had more than one. I feel like he keeps getting more and more girls. He had Marie, now he's getting Cassandra also pretty soon. He's getting Ryu, definitely Aisha, so many, Haruhime, every girl around Ryu. Now, after this, Lily has a really good idea, proposing they all join in the hunt, but just to pretend to be in the thick of things, to get information, be the first ones to get to Ryu and figure out what is happening. Now we have an interesting appearance, so to say, part of the Hermes family. We had that lion dude with the sword. You're doing something in that dungeon over there. I think in there maybe in the previous dungeons where Bell fought with Drax. What was that guy's name? Dex or something like that, if I remember his name correctly. But Andromeda thinking of Ryu, so they know what is happening, and her being worried about Ryu choosing revenge again. And this got me thinking. I'm really curious what's happening with Ryu. This is probably gonna be the main focus moving forward, which we're gonna get some answers. But what I also want to know, ever since Andromeda showed up, I want to see Hermes again. Please bring back Hermes, especially after what he did last season with the Xenos. I want him to have a conversation face to face with Bell and also Hestia. I kind of want Hestia to just slap Hermes quite a lot. Hopefully we're gonna see some Hermes in this episode, because whether you agree or disagree with everything he has done, you cannot deny that he makes things more interesting every time he's on screen. But that is not to say that I like what he did. I still disagree with what he did last season, but he has an obsession with Bell, more than obsession, honestly. Now, throughout the episode, like I said, was focused on Cassandra, her being worried about the prophecy, trying to find a way to make the others believe her, for them to stop, to not go on the hunt, trying her best. And this was the moment that I mentioned when she told him, hey, don't do this, I had a premonition, and Daphne kind of went a bit too hard into her, saying, I'm tired, enough is enough with all your prophecies. And this is felt, I didn't really like how Daphne reacted in that situation, which I understand all of the frustrations and everything, but at the same time you see how sensitive Cassandra is. Also get confirmation that her prophecies might not always come true, but her gift is real, and how much internal, how much she wants to save everybody and stop that prophecy. Nobody believing her. She even collapses a bit in frustration, not really frustration, kind of loss of hope in a way. Daphne again got worried. Daphne still cares very much about Cassandra. That was just probably a knee-jerk reaction that she had there. But in the end, Cassandra still agrees to go with them, just to be there, still trying her best to stop the prophecy. I'm really curious, just going through all of the prophecy wording she even got there. Like I said, I'm really starting to like Cassandra a lot more. But back on the surface, Hestia and Miyah complaining that the others are, or at least Hestia complaining Miyah, who are actually having a fun time with Nazu, or I think that was the girl's name that he's spending time with, which made Hestia a bit more jealous because she was lonely. Now this was where we got the confirmation from Miyah that Cassandra does in fact have foresight, and even Hestia felt there's something more with her. Now, this is where they get a letter from Lily telling them everything that has happening, what they're planning to do moving forward, and a favor from Hestia. We don't know what exactly the favor is, but we're gonna find out probably in the future. And hopefully we're gonna get more gods interacting, especially with Ryu's past, probably finally being fully revealed, just besides the surface level knowledge we have right right now. And back in the dungeon, all of them looking for her. It's very hard to find somebody in the dungeon. Cassandra still being very worried. They even consider that maybe the floor boss could be an interpretation for her calamity, which kind of turns out it's not really that powerful. Aisha fought with it before. Everybody considers it level 6, but she thinks it's like level 5, level 6 just because of the terrain and everything, which I feel they felt they could handle it pretty easily. But the floor boss spawns in 2 weeks. Was that a flag? Maybe it's gonna spawn faster. Who knows? But it shouldn't really be an issue, even if it spawns. Maybe famous last words. But who knows? We'll have to see. Still focusing on that prophecy. Cassandra trying her best. Her entire mental energy in the entire episode are just spent on trying to stop them, to save them. She even tried to talk to Belle even before this scene, but they got interrupted. Even here, Belle telling her, "Hey Cassandra, you can talk to me anytime about anything you want," even offering her water. We know Belle is very kind, very generous, and again, another girl probably is gonna fall for him. But before they can really do anything, they get interrupted by wild mammoths and they have to go fight with them. And Cassandra asks Vel for a favor, which you find later on is for a piece of gear for Belle. We're gonna get to that. During the fight, Aisha again being very adept at fighting. And I'm gonna say it as many times as I can. I really wish at some point Aisha is gonna join the family. Hopefully everybody from the party. I kind of want all of them to be in the family at this point. Gonna consider them family. Even Belle saying it how many times he has said it so far. Even though we're just a party, we can always help each other. I want all of them to become an actual family, join the Hestia family. I'm sure the other gods would be more than okay, but who knows if that's gonna happen. We'll have to find out. And also I want Ryu at some point, because I think this entire thing is gonna get resolved. We're gonna find out what's happening. Most likely Ryu is not responsible for the murder, and hopefully they can redeem her reputation, or maybe a new identity for her. I don't know how they're gonna handle that, and maybe Ryu is gonna join the family, and pretty soon Hestia family is gonna be one, if not the biggest family there. And we still have Freya, because Freya is definitely up to something ever since we saw her again last episode. But yeah, we also see a bit of Ryu. She's shown to be in the lower floors near the cascades, and they realize also after that Cassandra doesn't want them to go to the floor 27. Even Daphne agreeing that they shouldn't really go there. Just Belle and Aisha maybe go to floor 27. Cassandra didn't want Aisha to go because during the prophecy Aisha dies. This was a pretty fun moment. The way she tried her best to find out to give a proper reason for why Aisha shouldn't go. I was like, Aisha should stay behind because Haruhime is heavy. Poor Haruhime, complete destruction. She got so embarrassed there, even though Cassandra didn't mean it. Haruhime, poor Haruhime, and Aisha was like, maybe you should just get some more muscles. Yeah, that's a really good point. But even Belle agrees that Aisha should stay behind. Didn't really give, we didn't find out what his reason was exactly, but probably maybe to protect them if they're behind. I don't know, maybe he moves faster alone. Aisha just saying, I agree with your point, and she's probably gonna stay behind again. Poor Haruhime. Now, also Aisha telling him, are you gonna be able to handle Ryu alone? That's a really good point, because Belle believes Ryu wants to save her, but also at the same time, let's just assume that Ryu actually went mad or evil or whatever along those lines. Is Belle gonna be able to defeat Ryu? We're gonna have to see. And also Cassandra's prophecy, the fairy that is gonna bring calamity? Could that mean, is it actually talking about Ryu? Is somebody else from her past? I don't know, I have so many questions about this prophecy. Everything is alluding to Ryu, but I feel this might just be a red herring, and maybe Ryu is trying to stop it. Maybe he knows something and is trying to stop that something. Maybe, I don't know, so many possibilities. I'm very excited for the future of Danmachi. It feels like we're finally getting into the serious, meaty stuff of the story of the world. The major plot points are slowly starting to happen, and this is where we also see what Cassandra wanted, well, to make for Bella a Goliath scarf made from Lily's materials over there. And Belle sets out, and that was pretty much the episode. It felt like a bit of a preparatory episode for things to come, which I'm definitely excited. I can't wait to get next episode. I also have a million questions, which I'm sure you guys also have. Maybe if you're a source material reader, you already know the answers, but for me, or for a lot of us which are anime only, things are definitely getting a lot more excited, and I cannot wait. Finally getting into the serious stuff. So let me know what you guys thought about the episode. What do you think about Ryu? Is she actually responsible for the murder? Probably not, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Danmachi. See you in the next one. Bye bye.